So here it is, the latest project for the channel, my 1990 twin turbo 300ZX. Now this car has been my dream car for many a year now, and at the age of 19, I have finally purchased one. And I purchased it for £3,500. Now a lot of you watching this may think, well, how's he got a twin turbo 300ZX for £3,500? But we are going to cover that in today's video. Now what you may be thinking at first is this is a long wheelbase Jap import twin turbo with the Targa top. Now if you don't know what Targa top is, I will show you that very quickly. Now this is a Targa top. It is a glass roof, well, glass roof, yeah, sometimes they're not glass, but basically you can remove these panels like so. So if I just pop that off for you quickly, there you go. Passenger side does it as well, and you have that strut in the middle, so you can drive this car basically without a roof. And all they are a pretty small panel. You get stowage trays for them that go in the boot. So ideal, really, perfect road trip car if you ask me. So your first question is does it have an engine? Because for £3,500, you probably wouldn't expect that, seeing as an engine for one of these can range from £1,000 to £3,000 in itself. Now, if we pop this bonnet, there you can see the mighty VG30 DETT. Now, this engine does look very dusty, but that is because it was kept in a paint shop. So, of course, you've got all the sanding and everything. It's just gone straight under the bonnet, and it's just left a thick coating of dust on absolutely everything. So, we will have to clean that at some point. Now, you're probably thinking, well, if it's got an engine and it's costing £3,500, it's probably got tons of rust. Well, first of all, let's have a look around here. There's no rust there. There's a small amount of bubbling back there, but nothing major. Front cross member, not even bubbling. Battery tray has no rust whatsoever. Now, the rear arches, they're all solid metal. And in there is also more solid metal. So what is the question with this car, I hear you ask? That lies in the gearbox. Now, if we just open this door here and pull the boot release, you will see what the issue is. Whoa. Now, that's an automatic gearbox. And if we look under these mats, that is another automatic gearbox. Now, the story behind this car is the previous owner, before the guy I bought it off of, he took the gearbox out to do a manual conversion. Then, unfortunately, he got deployed to Afghanistan and the car was left in his garage. So, of course, he gets back from Afghan and he's got this car. He just doesn't have the passion for it anymore. So, he sold it to this body shop who the guy originally wanted to fix the car up, but he had other projects, and being a business owner, you're fully working all the time, 24/7, so he didn't have time for a project like this. So, to cut the story short, this car has been off the road since 2007, and it's not seen daylight since. It has been dry stored ever since, which is why this car is solid. The engine ran when the box came out, so obviously we're going to have to do basic maintenance items, plus all the seals, all the belts. But that's just the cost of owning and buying a project like this. Now, also in the boot, obviously mentioned the gearboxes. You can see the exhaust sat going all the way up here. We also have every part we need to put this car back together. As you can see, there's your starter motor. You've got your prop shaft down there, and amongst there, there's plenty of other bits as well. So whilst we're looking at the car, let's run through some of the modifications that have been carried out to this car. So, starting in the engine bay, I don't actually know too much about it. other than the fact it has these pretty decent sized blow-off valves for the turbos on this car, because of course, as you can see by that badge there, it is a twin turbo. And of course, I'm sure many of you have spotted these wheels on them. Now, from what I can find online, these are a Yokohama Advan AVS 6. Now, the current sort of cost of these wheels in decent condition is 800 quid to £1,000 without tyres. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of these wheels. I think they suit the black, and to be honest with you, they are growing on me, but I'm in the mind of getting them refurbed, selling them on, and possibly getting a different set. But obviously, the main focus is getting the car up and running again so that we can actually drive it. So if you think I should keep these or change these, let me know in the comments and we shall take a little vote from there. Now, another modification on this car is this humongous rear spoiler on it. I mean, the spoiler on the MX-5 is pretty big, but you see that it is almost level with the roofline of the car. Now, once again, this is another modification I'm not too sure on. I mean, you see it from the back and it looks extremely aggressive and I really love it. But then you sort of see it from the side, not so good. And then you see it from there, don't know how I feel about it. Now, obviously, opinion will change once it's all painted, polished up, and the car is all the same colour. Because as you can see, we have plenty of lacquer peel up here, and that's practically just through to primer. And over here, the previous owner of the car, if we just wipe away some of that, has actually polished it up so you can see the original paint on there. So this does not have the same texture and has been painted quite poorly, so it will need repainting to match the rest of the car. So let me know your opinions on this car, whether you think it was a steal at £3,500 or if I'm just wasting my money. Personally, like I said, it's been a dream car of mine for a while, so I will do anything in my power to get this car up and running again, just to hear the V6 roar and to build another show car. So that is where we are going to end today's video. But before we end today's video, we have to end on a bit of a sad note. The Honda has been condemned. The rust is way too serious on it. It had its MOT the other week, and unfortunately, it's getting broken for parts. So all plans for this unique nugget of a car are scrapped purely because of how bad the rust actually is on it. So if you look here, we did start cutting a bit out with the angle grinder, but you look back there and it's just, you can just bend it all the way up there. The arches, they're just peeling and they just crumble. It was all fillered in and everything. So for a £650 car, it's not worth the time nor money. So I might as well get some money back on it and put it into this. So of course, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to stick around to see what happens with this car, and I will see you in the next one.